Wine Wednesday.
Yeah, here
You
we
are
go.
live.
Mira Boucher, good evening.
Good evening, Carl Boucher.
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine
Cheers.
Club members, cheers. Happy Wednesday, happy Wine Wednesday. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone has a very good day and enjoy a good glass of wine. So, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are tuning in from, let me know where. Let me know what's in your glass. What's in your glass, Mira Boucher?
Well, you pour this glass, Carl Boucher, so I think I have some kind of Syrah, maybe?
You have a Reserve Syrah
Yeah,
2016 vintage
beauty.
from the Naramata bench in BC. So yeah,
Awesome. Love
here
that.
and
It's great
what
to see
I
you
have
guys.
in my glass. Well, you know what? Let's keep it straight. Let's keep it easy. I also have some Red Rooster, but because my partner, my wife always deserved the best. She has the big boys. She has the Syrah. I have the little guy, but the little guy is really darn pretty. I'm a cheap date, right? A 19 a $19 Cab Merlot from the bench. Uh, this is pretty darn delicious here. So I have Red Rooster Cab Merlot 2018 vintage, and this is yummy.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what other people are having tonight for Wine Down Wine Wednesday.
So Bryn is on already. Yannick Nadeau from Vancouver is on. So anyone, please let us know from where you're tuning in. Let us know what's in your glass.
Yes,
There's a lot we want to talk about today. First,
totally. And right off the bat, I have to say I'm really excited for the fun little prize we're going to give away. Hey, Carl?
yes, we have a very cool giveaway here. Two wine tumblers, Red Rooster little wine glasses. Uh, it seems like there's something Red Rooster going on here at Carl's Wine Club. Yes,
You
because
might be seeing something like that coming up in your inbox maybe next week. So,
with with the oops, that darn thing is shaking. Stop.
there you go. You're all good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we've taken a break this week. We did the recap, a last chance email from Carlo Estate Winery yesterday. And okay, because we're the first today, we'll give an extra couple of hours. But this is the end of our endless summer pack with Pondview Bellaterra. Last chance. Tomorrow we have a last chance for Lakeside Cellar. Lakeside was a really, really, really popular offer. So Lakeside Cellar from Osoyoos, BC, last chance tomorrow. And on Friday, last chance for Tinhorn Creek. So we're doing their reorder, last chance. After that, we're gonna shred the link from these offer. It won't be available anymore. And spoke with Corsolat today. Corsolet didn't want to do a reorder yet because they're doing their wine club shipment right now, and also they would like to put a few new wines in
Ooh,
October to round up the last reorder. So we'll wait in October for Corsolet. And right now, we're working on the offer for next Monday, and it's in our glass. So there you go. We're having Red Rooster coming up next Monday, so you guys can um, see the preview coming up probably for VIPs, open for order on Sunday night, and for everyone next Monday. Red Rooster coming your way. A few things we would like to talk about today. It's about our last couple of wine experience that we had, Mira and I. We had a couple of not there were not events, but we had a few tasting with cool people. Last week, our wine o'clock Friday with our new group in Caledon, BC. We were at Skaha Vineyard with Jerry and Sue and Rob Amersley and Michelle at Black Market. And every Friday, now we get together and we taste different wines. So, what was the theme last week, Mira?
Wine in cans. It's a
We did,
pretty cool theme.
yeah.
So
So, like there was like 15 of us, 15 adults, because there's a bunch of kids running around and getting dirty in the dirt and and playing, and so that was pretty cool. And the adult, we tasted around, I would say, 15 different type of wines in a can. So it was really cool to see all of these things. And there was 2 cans per wine, and we learned a lot. There was a lot of good learning and a lot of good chat about. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. So we'll talk about it, and we'll also talk about our pizza party that we had on Monday. Because while the kids were having a pizza feast, the adult had a little bit of a wine tasting, isn't it?
good. Yes.
Oh,
We had a lot of
also,
lines open.
yes, lots of wines open. Also, on Sunday we went on a road trip. We need to talk about that road trip because
Yeah.
we had a heck of a time traveling the valley north to south, picking up samples of Cabernet Sauvignon because it's Cab Sauv Day coming up tomorrow, and we have a heck of a show for you, a marathon. We are back with our International Day Marathon tomorrow, Cabernet Sauvignon, and we are going to crush, absolutely destroy the stigma of Canadian cannot, Canadian terroir cannot produce good Cabernet Sauvignon. We have 15 Cabernets from all over the country to taste with you guys. I have 3 special guests who are going to join me, talk winemaker. I'm going to talk about different terroir, about producing Cabernet Sauvignon. It's going to be a lot of fun. So while we were picking up all samples and chatting with people, Mira and I stopped at our very good friend. And how about you talk a little bit about our Mexican night that we had Sunday?
Yeah. So Clay's on here saying we were saying we tasted a lot of wines. Clay says, yes, you did. And that's partly because Sunday we had an epic day. I think it was Friday that we realized this Thursday is Cabernet Sauvignon Day. These days are not widely publicized, so you really have to watch your calendar. And so, so we're like, oh, it's next Thursday. Can we do something for Cab Sauv Day? So Carl made a few phone calls, and next thing we know, on Sunday, we're stopping in, I think, at 8 wineries all in one day. And after all the stops, we decided to stop by our friends Clay Martin and Joanna Belloc, who run BC Wine Review, who had a terrible day the day before. Their car like broke down in the middle of a road trip.
In Hope, right in the middle of the Coca-Cola. Like how much shittier it can be. Eh?
So yeah, Brent's saying my type of day. You're in the middle of a move, Brent, I hear. So yeah, that kind of thing, right? So they needed a little pick me up. And so we said, if we're going to be down in that area picking up wine, and Clay and Joanna are there, we're bringing them some wine. So we started off, yeah, quite a little lineup there. We had what? BC wines, Ontario wines, mainly whites and rosés. And we discovered one winery in particular this last week that we were super impressed with. If you guys remember last Wine Wednesday, I was drinking a Riesling and I was like, what is this, Carl? What did you pour in my glass? We've never had this Riesling before, and it was so good. And it's this company, this winery called Fogelar out of Ontario that we didn't even know about. And that Riesling was fantastic. And then what the better part was, I said, well, how much is this Riesling after we drank almost the whole bottle. And how much was it, Carl?
$15.
You're like, what?
$15. And okay.
Including tax, I think.
Including tax. So, and I called the winery, I called the rep, I called the person in charge of the marketing today to make sure it's not a mistake. And the cool thing is, so here's the cool thing here, is there's 3 bottles of Fogelar. This little guy here is the cuvee. So it's a blend of these two single vineyards. So they do two single vineyards separate at $20, and that little guy here mix up the both single vineyard at $15, and they were delicious. So anyway, we tasted that, and we learned that Mexican food, world class Mexican food, really classic, made by Mexican people, they're real traditional, goes very well with Riesling.
I thought so. I had chicken tacos with that Riesling. Pretty good.
I
And
had spicy
guacamole.
tacos. Yeah.
Yeah, what do they call that? Adabe? Adobe? I don't know.
The what?
Abodabo. Abodaba. The
The what?
porky.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. And anyway, so we picked up some Mexican at one of the classic, authentic Mexican food in Osoyoos, grabbed a bunch of Mexican and went to our friend to make them feel better about their day that they had the day before. And also, Mira, let's not forget, we tried Fogalar, but we also tried Marinessen. That
Oh
was
my
the
God.
first time that we cracked something pretty darn cool. First, there was the rosé. First, there was the rosé here.
Oh, you're so organized. You still have it there.
Absolutely. So here, marinate this one completely empty and really, really cool. So rosé, this one is a rosé of Pinot Gris with skin contact, but we tasted with Clay the rosé of Pinot Noir.
Hmm.
And it was spectacular. And that's worth to talk about that. Mira, introduce that bottle for me, okay?
So that is the Cab Franc Gewurz, right? Which I
Okay.
don't know a lot about wine, right? But the only time I'd ever heard of a red wine with a little bit of white grapes in it was at Black Market Wine Company in Caledon, BC, where they put a couple percent of Viognier in
And
their
there's
Syrah.
Syrah. So
Yeah.
this is a take. Okay, let me take over here. We'll get a little geeky here. In the northern Rhone Valley in France, originally from 100 years ago, they're doing a classic blend of co-fermented Syrah and Viognier. A few percent of Viognier help to boost the flavors and aromas and also the color. How, to me, when you're not in wine, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that white wine will help to make the color darker in your wine, right? It doesn't, but there's some component in the wine, some chemical component that a reaction that help the wine to get a little darker and also boost the aromatic. So the classic Northern Rhone, especially in Côte Rôtie, has that classic, usually 96%, 97% Syrah, 3 or 4% Viognier in there. So that's the classic Northern Rhone. And our friends at Marinessen in Ontario, they're located on Niagara on the Lake. Spoiler alert here, we're going to have a feature with them uh, in October, and I'm really excited about. So these guys make that Ontario co-fermented blend, their take on the Syrah Viognier, to be a Cabernet Franc Gewürztraminer, co-fermented together.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
gonna be right back.
the kids, there you go. And I'll keep talking about, okay, that blend. So co-fermented Cabernet Franc Gewürztraminer. So at the beginning, I was like, yes, not sure about that. I'm not sure where we're going with that blend. I understand that Cab Franc, it's one of the red, classic red from Ontario, lots of potential there. Gewürztraminer, one of a great grape from Ontario as well. So, but what would be the end result of that co-fermentation? Oh my God, it was absolutely beautiful. It was so awesome. So hear me out here. A lighter style of wine, a little bit like a Beaujolais, not Beaujolais Nouveau here, or not Beaujolais generic, more of a Beaujolais cru, like a Julianas or a Saint Amour or a brouilly on steroid. So a full body, full body Beaujolais, still a light type of wine, but with a long and spicy finish. That Gewürztraminer boosted the finish of that Cabernet Franc and get such an amazing result. So yeah, we tasted that, and now yes, the bottle is empty. There's nothing. I tasted 5 other people throughout the weekend with that wine, and everyone was like, "What the heck is that?" And this has been very polite because we're on right now, and I didn't say like the whole, but it's a what the fuck kind of thing. So so yeah, here's it's a super cool bottle of wine. So Essence, really, really cool wines here coming out of Niagara on the Lake. And we've tasted a few people here. So that was our Sunday night. Mexican food and cool wine with our friend Clay and Joanna. And that was a lot of fun. So moving back to Friday we got to our group at Calydon when we tasted 15 wines in cans. You always learn a lot of things when you get a group of people together, and when like couple winery owners, some great growers, some tasting room staff. So there's people there with a lot of wine experience. Some people are a little bit new, some people are shy, some people don't talk a lot, some people like to explain what they're drinking. So some people with WSET, some people who are just starting. Like there's a good like wide range of people, and we all chat. There's no judgment. There's no like we just chat about what we're thinking, and it's what we'll learn. But what I learned for sure after featuring Castoro d'Oro in our flash offer with the cans, I'm seeing here that there's many more around now. It's become a thing to showcase your product with your wine in a can is a big opportunity for winery right now. The supply chain is bigger. There's more product available. It's cheaper now to produce wine in a can. It's a good way to attract a new customer base, but there's great wine in a can out there, but they're not all good. Trust me. That experience opened my eyes for about inconsistency. There's a lot of inconsistency between each and every brand. And I'm explaining here, we opened 2 cans of each wine. And even between each cans, there were discrepancies between the taste of each. So it was interesting. There was a learning curve. We all agree that the purpose, it's super exciting. The let's say how convenient, for the convenience. It's a term that everyone were talking about. When you realize, yeah, you bring that on the boat, you bring that for a uh, for a walk, for a hike, for camping, or even if just like you have dinner on your own one night, you don't want to crack a bottle, or just you and your spouse just feel like a little glass. There's many good use for a wine in a can, but also we just realized there's a lot of inconsistency, and many of them were not good at all. Many of them were plain gross. I'm not here to crush anyone. I'm not going to mention any name. I'm not going to, but most of them were ended up in like strictly like, people were smelling and just like little sip and dumping it in the grass. So it was eye opening. Yeah, Lornar, it was not. He was like really, but inconsistent. The inconsistency. Or a few good though. There were a few good cans that it's worth mentioning, aka Lake Breeze. Lake Breeze was the best of the 15 different brands that we tried. and almost by a by a wide margin. Everyone out of 10 rated Lake Breeze between 8 and 9 points out of 10. It was across the board. Not one person didn't like the Lake Breeze can.
And
Joie, go
and
ahead.
Carl, we could mention we learned something really interesting from Clay. I think Clay was meeting with Lake Breeze at one point about their cans. They were just released, I think, in the last week or two, right?
Yeah.
And the winemaker was saying something interesting about treating the wine in cans different when it comes to sulfur content. Because often, like most wineries, will add sulfur to the wine to preserve it at the very end, right? And it kind of dissipates, right, once you open the bottle and through age and stuff. Um, but apparently, if you're doing that in a can, the cans need less sulfur. So I think they were saying that they adjusted how they did that because they knew the cans would need less. Now that might be a tip that not all wineries are using, right? So that could be potentially maybe they're preparing the wine the exact same way for both, and then the cans kind of affect it a little bit differently. Who knows? It'd be interesting to do a tasting of the same wines from the barrel or in a bottle and a can, right? And see.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like I said, we're talking about inconsistency even between each, like the same brand, like or the same wine. Like, oh, but poor, like we love Courcelette. We are big fan of Courcelette. Is our the only wine club that we sign for. We love their wine and their what's the name of their rosé in can?
The
No,
Sante,
the
it's not a
sparkling.
rosé.
No, the
Yeah.
sparkling in can.
Sante?
Right?
Is it Sante?
I can't hear you, Mira. Your sounds come out so can it's like in a can.
Ah! Ha ha! Okay,
And
one sec.
anyway, so Courcelette, like the between like one of the can didn't have bubbles. It was like so lightly sparkle. So there's some, and we just and someone had a really good point. I think some of them should be drank straight from the can. Like because we try with that Courcelette one straight from the can, definitely you can feel the bubble way more when you pour it in the glass. They lost almost all of the bubbles. So there, it's such a new thing that it's really interesting to see the inconsistency, but the potential because the purpose of it and the convenience of it, it's amazing. There's so many things you can do with that, and it's so versatile. Can you go ahead, Mira? Can you talk to me now and see if
Yeah, let's see. Is this better?
there you go. That's the one I know.
Yeah, sorry. Well, the point being is that there are some excellent wine in cans that we've
Yes.
tasted that make it so easy to say if you're going boating for the day or if you're going on a hike or something like that, a picnic. It makes it so easy to bring some wine along. Way smaller, so you can put an ice pack in there or two in a small little lunch bag, and you can bring it with you. It's so easy. So yeah, the potential is great. We already know that some producers they figured it out, and it's really impressive what they're able to do. But it's a little bit hit and miss. Especially we had some American wine in cans in there that
Oh,
were
oh,
a lot cheaper, like
oh.
half the price of the Canadian ones we had. But oof, no one could finish even a little sip. So
It was gross. It was absolutely disgusting. Also, the good one, Joie. Joie have a six pack right now with two of each of the three different cans. I think the small bubbles was interesting. Their rosé was very good, and the other the I think it's the Noble blend was also a very like above average. Let's put it that way. So Joie seems to have figured it out. They were not all excellent, but all of them were above average. Castoro di Oro, on the other hand, their Merlot's fantastic in the can. The Heart of Gold just won double gold at the end in can at the All Canadian. It's fantastic. Well, we had a problem with the two rosés that we had that night. Both cans were not tasting the same, and we're wondering, was there affected? Is it easier to be affected by heat or travel? Because we travel with these two cans to Victoria back and forth. So is it because it's too small? If the car got heated a little bit, it's easier to affect. So there's so many different factors that we don't know how easy it is to affect the wine compared to the bottle. So that's another point.
And this is all part of the journey, right? Like what I loved about Bruno at Castor de Oro is he said, this is uncharted territory. We know it's not going away. Wine in cans are here to stay. They're too convenient, too popular. They're not going to go away. More and more wineries are going to make wine in cans. What we don't know is like, well, yeah, how well does it transport and age and all these things? Are there certain things you need to be careful about, right? So he's actually putting away cases and cases of each vintage so he can do a vertical tasting each year.
A 10-year trial that he put aside. That's all planned for a 10-year for every year. So I've tried year number 1 with him. And the interesting thing is everything was stayed the same after a year. All the technical numbers stayed the exact same after a year. The wine hasn't moved at all. No oxidation, no lack of acidity, no, like everything was the same. Well, year 1. Now we're moving into year 2, so it's interesting to see how it's going to evolve. What else? There was another one. A Mayhem Rosé was fairly good. One of my top also was very good. And there was one other one that was pretty good that we pretty much all like.
The Joie one, did you mention that one?
Yeah, I mentioned the Joie. I mentioned the Lake Breeze. There is a Mayhem. And there's another one that was fairly impressive. And no, Lorna was not 50th parallel. So I
don't think we tried that one. Sorry.
Yes. I promise to not crush anyone. So we're not going to talk about 50th parallel. He's one of that that end up in the grass. So it was very impressive.
I don't know. But the problem is, like you're saying, right? We've tasted some of these cans before and they were great. And then that night they weren't. So you wonder, did someone leave it in their glove compartment for a few hours and, that kind of thing.
But there's one thing though with 50th parallel. There's one of the winery who are using a second grade grapes to put in the can. Like if we go with Lake Breeze, they're using their top premium grape. Castoro are doing the same thing with their top premium grape. At 50th parallel, they went cheaper in price and a lower grade level in grapes, and it completely showed in the final result though.
Interesting.
So we have our friend from Calgary here. Hi, Lisa. Jared, how you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah.
Okay. Now you're getting canny. So what you have to do is go mute and back. So while you're doing that, I just want to go back to Xavier's great question about, isn't part of the whole experience of wine the bouquet, the aromas, right? That you get on the nose. And it is, I would totally agree. We had all the wine in cans we tasted, we had them out of a glass, like a nice wine glass. And a lot of people do that. Like they'll bring, if you're camping, maybe you bring plastic ones if you have to or whatever, right? But yeah.
How do I sound now?
Tinny. Try one more time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And Clay agrees, I guess, about the glassware.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you tell me what's the next step if we need to change my setting or anything?
Just try again. Like I'll just remove you and add you again. One sec. Let's see. How's that? Carl?
Can you hear me now?
Can you take your hands off the screen?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that doesn't sound too tinny on your side. Yeah, so So that was good. And then Gail has a great tip. They use Tetra wine packs when they went on a cruise, which worked well just for a temporary, I assume. Tetra wine packs, I assume, are the ones that the wine already comes in it, or is it like some special thing where you suck the wine out of a Coravin? I don't know. But anyway, they said that worked well for a cruise, so you don't have to worry about breakage in the luggage. So yeah, it's all this convenient type of stuff that's helpful. One thing that came up that we realized really quickly is, well, you'd never age a wine in can, right? These are meant to be like great, easy sipping kind of wines that you can take with you for, yeah, not your 50th wedding anniversary, but you know.
Well, that's exactly just like you mentioned. That's the whole purpose of the production of the wine in can. It's all about convenience. It's about the quick in and out thing. You're rarely looking for a Grand Cru or the top flagship wine. That's not the brand. So and in the Tetra Pak, it's fun because now there's good product coming out of France. There's some rosé like Chateau, like Domaine en Rose from Provence. It's a premium juice in Tetra Pak. So obviously, yes, the wine market, the wine industry is evolving. And just like let's look at the screw cap. People were outraged 10 years ago when screw cap started. It started with the sommeliers and the restaurant people, and like there was, how can you take the cork out of the Romans, the opening thing? It's outrageous. It's never going to age properly. And there was that whole debate, and still almost, no, not anymore, but 5 years ago was still raging among, you have the pro screw cap, the people against it, and now like 90% of people in the wine industry say, what are you talking about? Screw cap is the best thing since sliced bread, for God's sake, because it's convenience. Yes, sometimes you like to open the bottle and do the whole protocol, the romance of it, but it doesn't affect the aging. And so anyway, things are evolving. Mentality are changing, evolving. And yeah, that's the modern world, I guess. And cans is something I don't think you're going back. If the quality of the juice can be consistent, and we're gonna start ironing some wrinkle and make it even better. Now the chain supply is bigger. There's more product out there. It's easier for producer to do it. So I think we're heading to a trend. It's not only a trend; it's going to be part of portfolios of most of the wineries. But yeah, that was like talking with Jerry. That's funny how Jerry at Skaha's, Jerry wasn't convinced at all. He was shaking his head, and I knew from the beginning where he what was his position versus the can. Like even like talking to him about it before, he is not convinced. He's not sure. No, this thing it's not working. And a little bit more old school mentality throughout the whole evening. Yep, I told you. Nope,
no, he wasn't acting quite like that. If you're here, he wasn't quite acting like that. But, you know, it was, yeah, a lot of us had some doubts, and it was good to see that, you know, there's definitely a bright future for wine in cans, but not all the producers are there yet.
And right? I tell you, we all had some doubt at the beginning, and we all left with even more doubt. Is it fair to say? It is fair to say?
No, I think the conclusion at the end of the night was just, if you run into a good wine in can that you like, support them because they're doing great job at innovating, right?
Yeah. No, that's true. I'm not saying don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying that they're not good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have not eliminated all of the doubt that we had before the session.
Well, exactly. And also that wine in cans are not necessarily something you might go out and buy like cases of without knowing, right? But the convenient thing is if it's in a liquor store, it's like $6, $8, $10 to try one. And then if you like it, you can order a case of it, right? So it's not that it's less expensive than trying a wine bottle usually, right?
So I'm gonna go to the next one. Hey, so now let's wrap up that conversation about the cans.
Yeah.
How do you like the wine you have in your glass?
I love it, except when the kids were fighting about who gets to sit on which couch, I left it somewhere. So I'm going to go and get it.
Go get it and come back. And if there's not enough, do a little stop, a pit stop here in the office to get a refill.
Okay.
And I just poured the Merlot Reserve here, so I can talk about it a little bit.
Oh, nice.
So interesting wines here. I love what Red Rooster is doing. We stopped by a couple months ago. I haven't tasted Red Rooster in years. Well, I would say more than a decade. I haven't tasted anything. I clearly remember the old Rooster on the bottles, and I wasn't too impressed. And now, well, I said, well, let's talk about it because I would like to see what they do now. And I've been hearing that they were doing a GSM, was absolutely wonderful. Their Malbec is one of the best Malbec from the bench. So there is there's Syrah won some lieutenant governor award. So there was many things that I keep hearing left and right. So hey, so now we're in the wine. We live now in the wine country. So let's hop in the car. Let's get to the bench. It's 45 minutes from home, and let's see. We got there. The tasting room manager, Burke, is an absolute firecracker, a bomb of energy. So we got there and we started talking, and we got along fairly well right away, tasting wine. And right away, I started to taste like, oh my God, this shit is pretty good. This is real. So now they are moving away from this is the Rooster. So this is going away now. They are, let me find the other, oh, I put it in the fridge. So they're changing their whole label from the 2020 vintage. No more Rooster on the bottle. It's clean, it's crisp, it's white. I really love what they're doing, but also the wines, especially this. That's the golden egg here. Wonderful blend of Grenache Syrah and Mourvèdre, the classic blend of the south of the Rhone Valley. They're the only one to do a GSM like that. Premium wine. That's going in the pack next week. And we have the 16 Syrah, Reserve Syrah. Mike, how's my wine enthusiast here? Great to see you. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, it's good shit, man. That's let's stop being trying to be politically correct. That is really good shit. I really love what they do. Their Malbec Reserve that I will be tasting live next week. This is picked by the wine club members. If you're a wine club member and you live in the Okanagan, every year they do a member get together. They pick the 2 acres of Malbec, and this goes into the wine club only, their Malbec Reserve. So, and this year they opened it up to Carl's Wine Club. So that's pretty cool. We're thrilled. One of the top Malbec in the country. It's coming in the pack. The finish, the wines are long. So they're not bomb, like the Syrah weighed at like 13.5%. So it's not super heavy wine, but they are great texture, great length, and good fruit. The authenticity of the fruit is well done. So yeah, Red Rooster coming your way next week. And I will not do Wine Wednesday next week. We have to do Wine Tuesday instead. And let me tell you why. Because Wednesday, I will not be in Kelowna. I will be in the air, landing to Toronto, because Thursday morning, I'm starting my tour in Niagara-on-the-Lake with Marcel Morgenstern, my friend at Pondview Bellaterra, who him and Lou, the owner, convinced me to get my ass out there to go taste wine with them in Niagara. And Mira said, "Oh, you should go. You should go." Like, hey, guess what? It's back to school, and our kids are going back to school on Tuesday. And anyway, my wife, my business partner, the cool ladies always like in the screen with me. Yeah. She booked me a flight ticket, so I'm out of here on Wednesday, on my way to Niagara. And Thursday morning next week, we're starting touring a bunch of cool winery. In Niagara-on-the-Lake. We're going to do the Bench, the 4 Mile Creek, bench appellation on on Friday during the day. Friday night we have the Bellaterra Pond View wine club dinner at the winery. And you know what is cool? It's Lou, the owner at Bellaterra, said, you know what? You don't need accommodation. You stay at my house. And I'm going to tour with Marcel, so it's going to be a pretty cool experience. So I will not be tasting wine on Wednesday with you. We're doing next week, Tuesday, wine happy hour, and I'm going to crack the Reserve Malbec from Red Rooster. So now, Mike Laplante, I'm just wondering, Saturday, I have a free day, a day like between, let's say, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm open, and I'm in Niagara. So for all of our people here who are in Ontario and Niagara would like to meet, let me know. That would be great to have a glass of wine with you guys.
Totally. And Xavier's asking, are you heading to Peck too? How long is Peck from Niagara, Prince Edward County?
That's a good answer. I have no idea because I can tell you, well, like, how long is between Kelowna and Penticton, or Penticton to Oliver, but
I'm looking it up. Let's see here. Niagara. Yeah, I'm gonna
5 hours. Okay, so I'm not gonna head up to Peck. I will not have enough time.
But we'll be back very soon because this was just a little like to get wet Carl's appetite a little bit more on Ontario wines and tour around there. But we want to be back pretty often.
Real. And there's also something pretty unique was happening because we put a blend together with Marcel and Lou this summer. And now it's been bottled, and we're going to reveal on Friday Carl's Wine Club proprietary blend Club Reserve. Our wine from Carl's Wine Club is ready to taste. So we'll do that on Friday as well. And you guys going to hear from me all weekend. But not all weekend, but on Thursday, on Friday, I'm going to pop up live here and there from different places. Count on me. I'm going to be stopping by Pearl Morissette. Count on me. I'm going to be stopping by Mary Essence. I'm starting my day on Thursday at Big Head, where they're specialized in Appassimento stuff. I'm going to be at Ice Cellar as well on Thursday morning. So we have Marcel build a pretty cool schedule. And I know I'm going to be on the bench, on the Beamville bench on Friday. So yeah, and probably relaxing on Saturday at Pondview Bellaterra, and hoping that people swing by and say hi to Carl's Wine Club.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yes,
so,
ice cellars.
Mira, what do you think of this?
A lot of people seem to know about ice cellars. Yes, we just got their wines. We just have some here, right, Carl?
I do here. Ice Cellar here is the 2017 Cab Sauv. So that leads me to talk about tomorrow. Before I talk about tomorrow, I want to hear what you think about what you have about your glass. What do you have in your glass, and what do you think about it?
Well, it's gorgeous,
isn't it?
I really like it.
Ravine, yes. Oh, Derek. So we're having lunch. We're having lunch at Ravine on Thursday. That's what Marcel was telling me. We're having tasting and lunch there.
Isn't Ravine the ones that just got like a decanter or some kind of?
No, it's not Ravine. It's bench.
Okay.
Come on, guys from Ontario. Who just won Best of Show at the decanter? There's Chardonnay for the single vineyard. Hidden bench.
Okay, something like that,
hidden bench. So unfortunately, John, we already emailed back and forth. We can't. You guys won't be there on Saturday. We'll miss each other. Just too bad. I would have loved to taste wine with you, John. But next time, I know that John's going to be in Kelowna early next year, so we're going to take care of you. You're going to be a guest of Carl's Wine Club, that's for sure.
Yeah, that'll
So
be fun. We're
here I
finding
have the
all the local secrets.
I have the 16. I have the 16 Reserve Merlot here in my glass. It's dusty, it's dark fruit, it's plummy. I can feel like minerality in there. I can smell it, minerality and bright acidity. I can't wait to see what's on the palate. Nice and grippy. Great concentration. Nice tannin. This is but I love that the alcohol level is pretty low. It feels like, let me see. Yeah, 14. It feels really well balanced though. Nice spice and long finish. So I like that. $35 wines. It's fantastic. Same for yours, Mira. You know that your Syrah weight at 13.5%. So very low alcohol for a Syrah from the Okanagan. The length, I tasted it before the show. The length is tremendous. So I like these wines. I'm going to be reviewing them tonight and tomorrow morning. I'm tasting. I'll review the wine before heading to school for the meeting with the teachers.
Bring some half-open bottles. Maybe they want to try some too.
Yeah, exactly. Brand new school for the kids, showing up with the teacher. Anyway, that'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Syrah. I get a bit of blackberry, both on the nose and in the flavors.
Okay.
I'm doing, I'm trying my best, Carl, to be like you. Because it's always impressive to me how you can like pick out the flavors so quickly.
That's what I do for a living, right?
That's the best I can do, some blackberry. And I like the nose because it's a little bit perfumey, like it's a little bit maybe like violet.
Yeah, classic, really, really classic. I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really nice. The Syrah. And you're having the Merlot, which I will have in a moment.
Yeah, I like the finish. I like the grip. So, yeah. Now, it leads me to talk about our cool idea that we put together in like the 20-hour, 16 hours time frame. When Mira looked at me and said, "Hey, hon, next week it's International Cabernet Sauvignon Day." I said, okay, that's good. She said, "Can we do something?" I said, "It's pretty short on time. It would be good to know a little bit more in advance, but let me place a couple of phone calls." Half an hour later, I had Marcel at Pondview putting a box together of some people in Niagara-on-the-Lake, a box of Cabernet together, calling me back and said, "You're going to get your wine on Monday." So I was like, okay. And boom, Mount Boucherie, Desert Hill, Courcelette, Lakeside Cellar. Who else replied to me? Like a bunch of people, like right away replied, "Yes, we want to be part of it." Yes, Black Market, like all of our good connections say, "Yes, we want to be part of that." And like in less than like 12 hours, we had a 15 wines lineup put together. And now we're going live for another marathon tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. Western Pacific time. So 8 o'clock start for Ontario, 5 o'clock start for BC. We're going to go, I don't know how long, at least 3 hours. We're going to start with Jeff Undermark, who's going to join me first. The cool thing with Jeff, he was at Marinesson in Ontario for many years. He used to make the wines for the Tragically Hip. He's very well known. He's a great winemaker, and he moved to Western Canada
5 years ago, and now running the whole wine program for Mount Boucherie and Ross. So Jeff, and by the way, they already started to pick. They pick Chardonnay for sparkling wine already. So the crush has started at Mount Boucherie. But Jeff will be on first. We're going to talk about terroir. What do you need to make good Cabernet Sauvignon in Canada? And we can compare because he made Cabernet. He worked at Marinescence. They were the first to plant Cabernet Sauvignon in Canada in 1978. So he worked with that first ever vineyard, Cabernet Sauvignon planting. He's working now with Cab Sauv from the Similkameen Valley, from Okanagan Falls, from Oliver. So he's working now with Cab Sauv from Western Canada. So to have his perspective on both sides of the country would be absolutely awesome. What do you have to say, Mira? Because I can see like you.
Well, you went robot Carl on me again with the sound. I don't know if that's for everybody or just me, but a little bit of robot Carl. But some fantastic stuff you were saying, so I listened anyway, and I hope others did too. But yeah, it's so exciting. Like 1978 Vines Cab Sauv that.
Okay, I sounded robot for everyone. Am I still a robot or?
Yeah, so mute yourself. Here, I'll mute you and then unmute yourself. See if that helps. Anyways, so yeah, so Cab Sauv Day tomorrow, phenomenal lineup. And then I said something. I said, Carl, you've tasted a lot of international wines, but I haven't really. I started tasting wines during the pandemic. I've tasted maybe like, I don't know, 800 Canadian wines along with Carl, but I haven't tasted a whole lot of international wines. So I wanted to throw in a little twist here and just have some good quality international Cab Sauvs with us tomorrow. We haven't gone to the store yet to get those, but we will. Oh, that looks good, girl. Yeah. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Here.
Am I allowed now?
Yeah, see, you're not robot anymore.
There you go. So this was just bottled. Intersection just sent that to us. It's not going to be on the market for another year, so it's a preview. Same with the Mount Boucherie 19. They just released the 18. This goes sitting for a while. Why I have the 19? It's because Jeff was so excited about the 19 vintage for Cab Sauv that he said that's the one that he wanted me to talk about. So that's going to be a very, very cool thing. I had here the Foreign Affair 16 Cabernet. This one from the Niagara Peninsula. Big head. And the fun thing with big head, we have two. We have Appassimento Cabernet and we have the Raw. The Raw program is 100% concrete eggs. So we're going to have a two cabs from the same producer, but different producing methods. So that will be super thrilling as well. Jacob Lipinski, it's pretty cool. So we're going to have that. A super affordable, one of the only $30 Cabernet in the countries from deep south in Osoyoos. This is our friend at Lakeside Cellar. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it might be even like at $29. A ridiculously low price for Cab Sauv, but absolutely phenomenal. This, and I'm going to pair that with their rosé. They do 100% Cabernet Sauvignon rosé, so it's going to be cracked as well. So we also have High Cellar, Bellaterra rosé, Bellaterra Cabernet Sauvignon. Also Marinescence. Marinescence, two different cab. We have the Platinum and the Heritage. Look at you, like going like.
I had the last step. You know, you always have to do a little dance for the last step, right?
Are you coming to get some Merlot?
Yeah, that's why I was doing a little dance. I'm excited for the Merlot.
Come and dance with me, honey. So Marinescence, whoops, Marinescence, that's going to be part of the lineup as well. Um, Desert Hills. So Desert Hills Cap 2018. Desert Hill has a special Capricorn Syrah in there, 20 months in oak. So I can't wait to crack that. Here, and one of the one that I'm super excited about is the Unsanctioned Series Black Market Capsoft 17. I can't wait to crack that. We'll have Rob Amersley, owner, winemaker, joining me at 7 o'clock as well. Also, Course Select Reserve Capsov will be open, and we'll chat with Charlie, winemaker and owner at Course Select in the Similkameen Valley, will be joining me at 6:30. So we have Jeff Undermark, Charlie Besser, and Rob Amersley. The three of them is going to come and chat with me Cabernet Sauvignon. I really want to chat people about, I want to demystify the stigma that Cabernet Sauvignon don't grow well in Canada. To me, it's absolute bullshit. There's so many great Capsov. There's so many Meritage blend who are Cabernet Sauvignon rosé, Cabernet Sauvignon based wine. And now there's a few reasons why. First and foremost, we understand. Hello.
Hey.
Here.
First and foremost, we understand what?
Oh, sorry. I'm just like busy here trying to find wine for you.
Ah.
There you go, the Merlot. First and foremost, we understand better the soil. We understand what's underneath and where to grow the proper grape. So it's reason number one. So we can plant the Cabernet Sauvignon vines at the right place to get better result. Second, there's something that's like, it's undeniable. It's called climate change. So it's warmer, and also it is even like the season are longer. So what's the do? It allow Cabernet Sauvignon to ripe properly. Cabernet Sauvignon is always one of the last grape to be picked, but you cannot get a great result if your season is interrupted early October. If you now can pick early October, if you cannot now pick early November, you're gold and you can produce good Cabernet, and we can. So I'm going to put in there a California cab. Is going to be a Washington State cab, a Washington State fruit produced in Canada. That would be cool, right?
Yeah.
Our friend Effie Perrell at Tender Hope, get his grape from Washington State. 2 single vineyard here. This one is the Finney Hill. Grapes from Washington, made in Kelowna. So that's going to be cracked as well. So many cool things. I'm going to get a Bordeaux left bank, so mostly cab. I'm going to get a California cab. I would like to source a Spanish cab, definitely an Australian cab. I will try to go to Coonawarra region in Australia, produce some great Cabernets. And again, the goal is not to crush any region. The goal is not to make people look like fool. The goal is I want people to understand that what we do, it's on par with international wine. So, and sometimes often better. We just need to realize that what we have in hand, it's spectacular. The stigma of we cannot produce good cab hurt our producer and can be changed if we talk about it. So yeah, that's I'm excited for tomorrow. And also tomorrow during the day, we're going to visit a new up-and-comer winery on the east side of Kelowna, near Spearhead, near Summerhill. We're gonna go. Who we're going to see, Mira, tomorrow?
Priest Creek. Yeah, so that whole area is kind of known as Mission. And you hear a lot about like priest this, priest that, mission this, mission that in Kelowna, because I think a big part of the settlements around here were Catholic missionaries, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, the like
So
Priest Creek, I guess they have a creek through their property that's called Priest Creek, and that's why the winery is named Priest Creek. Really cool story. It's a family from Calgary who moved out here, 5 years ago to start this winery. And
yeah.
they just released their first wines, I think.
Well, they've been making wines under the supervision of Jason Parks from Black Swift and the Hatch and Teeth and Crown. So Jason is also a consultant winemaker and taught the people at Priest Creek how to make wine and supervise the whole operation. So there's some Jason's Park influence behind the Priest Creek wine. The reds are big and bold and juicy. So it's going to be interesting to go see Jane and her husband tomorrow, so we can taste their lineup and maybe put something together for you guys. And also a new up-and-coming vineyard producer and person that we met this weekend is Uppercase. So Uppercase Winery, it's new at the Wine Village. The Osoyoos
District Wine Village.
The Oliver District Wine Village.
Yeah.
Uppercase are there. It's run by Michael Anderson, who produced Tumble Wines. And so Michael now is the general manager, winemaker, and like 100% in charge of Uppercase Winery, a new project. The owner, it's brand new in the wine business, older man, around 70-year-old. I heard that he purchased 3 vineyards in the south of the Okanagan, 2 on the Black Sage Bench, 1 in Osoyoos, and he is putting tons of money. And the Wine Village is super cool, new concept. So we're going to taste these wines in the next couple of weeks and let you know what's coming with that.
Yeah, and I have a nice suggestion here from Xavier, Chilean cab in our international wine selection. Then Mike says, "I'm guessing Carl isn't going for that." Is that true, Carl?
Hey, guess what, Mike? If I'm tight on budget, I might go Chilean cab.
I don't know anything about this. I don't know the inside
I
joke.
can find some. Yeah, I will go shopping tomorrow. I'll see if I can find a very good liquor store, retail store with a good international selection. I haven't shopped for international wines, and I don't know how long. So it's going to be a very interesting experience, and I will need Mira to follow me and give me her suggestion and all that. So it's going to be fun.
I was gonna say I should video you doing that, and we'll do a little time lapse of what happens at the liquor store.
Absolutely, that's going to be fun. So a little recap here of what happened. Red Rooster, all of the cool thing we've done last week, tasting wine with people. My highlight, Fogelar and Marinessence are spectacular wines from Ontario. I also tasted some Liber Farm, a good, interesting Reserve Merlot, a very good everyday drinking Chardonnay. So Liber Farm out of the Similkameen Valley are doing some cool thing here. So yeah, and Cabernet Sauvignon Day coming up tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else, Mira?
Well, I gotta help us pick the winner for our wine win draw.
Absolutely.
Show everyone what we're giving away again.
We are giving away 2 tumblers.
Yeah.
Wine with Red Rooster logo here. That's the prize this week. So yeah, supplied by Red Rooster. They were generous enough to say, no, that's on us. We want to treat the Carl's Wine Club members. You guys do some great things, so it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And thanks, Yannick, for the tip on the Orchard Park liquor store. We've also heard Cask and Barrel in West Kelowna here has a good selection, but might be more regional wine rather than international. So maybe we'll check out one or two. Hey, Carl. We're
Yeah,
also going to go
probably.
out and we're also going to go out and buy for like $16. You can get these little pumps with a special bottle stopper,
Yeah.
and it pumps the air out so that, ideally those bottles will last a couple, 2, 3, 4 days, and we can try them again.
Well, because
Uh,
we're gonna take our little group that we usually do on Friday, but we're gonna do it on Saturday this week, and we're gonna bring all of these Cabernets for our little group to taste these wines. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
there we go. That's how to do it. All right, let's see who gets the
All right,
special
spin the
prize.
wheel, honey. Spin that wheel.
Woo!
Ken McAllister.
Ken!
There you
Congratulations,
go.
Ken. Awesome.
Ken, you win 2 wine tumbler, 2 cool little glasses, branded Red Rooster. Yeah, offered by Red Rooster. They were cool enough to supply that for us, so we're really grateful. Thank you. There was a great attendance. So if anyone is in Niagara on the Lake next weekend, not this upcoming weekend, but the following one, especially on Saturday, shoot me a line. Send me a
Next
messenger.
Saturday, like 9 days from now.
Yeah, not this upcoming one, the following one. Shoot me a line on Messenger, on Facebook, on email. So yeah, would like to meet for a glass of wine somewhere in probably at Pondview Bellaterra for a pretty cool tasting. So
Awesome. And Xavier's saying he's saying he'll send you a message. Xavier, didn't you guys meet at Painted Rock?
exactly.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool if you get to see each other on both sides of the country. That's awesome.
So Mira Boucher, do you have anything else for us?
That's it, Carl Boucher. I had fun. I cannot wait till tomorrow to see. I'm excited because I don't think I've ever had an international cab sauv.
Okay, well, you know what? It's time for you to it's time to give you a little baptism. So we're going to baptize
Baptism
you
by fire
international
here.
one because my wife, my business partner, has been exclusively wine Canadian. Like I don't know how to
Tasting Canadian wine. I've probably
Yeah.
had like 5 international wines in my life.
So we're gonna do that tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. So tune in 5 o'clock BC, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're gonna be live for I don't know how long, at least 3 to 4 hours. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Share this, share the link with all of your friends. We are also on YouTube. If you listen, you want to help us because we want to take the show on the road. We want to take you to different places, and YouTube is a wonderful vehicle to bring what we want to do out there. So go on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to our channel. It would be awesome to grow the following on Facebook. We are at 4,000 followers on Facebook. We are at 1,000 followers on Instagram, but now we're building the YouTube channel. So get on YouTube, like us, and give us a little subscribe to our channel. And I promise you, we have some really good stuff coming up for you. So tomorrow morning, you will receive an email talking about the last chance to order any lakeside wine through Carl's Wine Club. That's coming out tomorrow. That's coming out on Friday is the Tinhorn Creek last chance to order, either if it's the historic vertical pack of 04, 05, and 06 Merlot, or including this extremely special ancestral method Pinot Noir Sur Lie. It's part of the pack. So Friday going out, the last chance to order Tinhorn Creek. Next week on Monday, Red Rooster, No show next Wednesday. I'll be on the road, so we're doing it on Tuesday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So maybe a little live from Saturday, maybe from Black Market Wine Company during our recap of Cabernet Sauvignon. We'll see. So Mira Boucher, thank you so very much. It was a great show again. Ba bam, ba bam, bam. Carl
Yay.
Club members, Canadian wine lovers, wishing you a great Wednesday night. It was fun to chat with you. See you next time.
See you. Cheers.